Hey guys, we're back. Keystone Mod 2, practice test, questions 20 and 21. All right, another STEM and leaf plot. Here we go. The number of students who attended learning labs during last school year is represented in the STEM and leaf plot below. What is the median? Let's get down to the question here, the nitty-gritty. What is the median? All right, well, let's define median. Median is the middle of data set when your data set is ordered lowest to highest. Well, luckily for us, that's the very nature of a STEM and leaf plot. The STEM and leaf plot already has it organized that way for us. Now, let me tell you how I am. I know that you can start crossing off to the middle right on the STEM and leaf plot, but that scares me out of my wits. I'm afraid I'm going to do it wrong, and I'm the teacher. So the way I do it is kind of annoying. Don't get mad. I write the data out left to right. So I will take the time, especially if it's my Keystone exam. I'm not taking any chances. I'll start with 10, 13, 16. So that's what I'm going to do. 10, comma, 13, comma, 16, comma. What else do I have? 21, 21, 26, 27, 28. Let's move to the 30s. 35, another 35, 36. I'm getting there. 41, 41, 41, 41, 45, 46, 50, 53, 56, can I squeeze it? And 58. Whew! All right, I should have wrote smaller, but I wanted you to be able to see it. Okay, now I'm going to start crossing off to the middle. Here we go. 10 goes with 58. 13 with 56. Being very careful here. 16 with 53. 21, 50. 26, 46, 27, 45, 28, 41, 35, 41, and now I'm left with 2 in the middle. There's no dead center. If I cross these out, I got nothing. So what I'm going to do is, when I have 2 left in the middle, I find the average of those 2. So I'm going to add them together, get their sum, and divide by 2. When I do that, 35 plus 36, of course, is 71. 71 divided by 2 is 35.5. So I'm going to choose letter B. Now, there's another way to do this, and it involves your TI-84. So let me bring the TI-84 on the scene here. Let's turn it on. And what we're going to do is press stat. Now, we've used stat before to write equations of lines. Today we're going to do something different with it. We're going to edit. Anytime we want to enter stuff, we want to edit. So let's edit. I'm going to clear this stuff out. Clear, enter. Clear, enter. Okay. Now, all my data from my STEM and leaf plot is going to go in L1. I don't use L2 when I'm doing data analysis. I only use L1 and L2 when I'm doing ordered pairs for equations of lines. So for this data, here I go. Got to be careful putting it in. I've got 10, 13, I'm reading these off my STEM and leaf, 16, 21, 26, 27, 28, 35, 35, 36, 41, 41, 45, 46, 50, 53, 56, and 58. Okay, all the data is in. Now I'm going to press stat again. I'm done editing. Now I want to calculate. And throughout these videos, we've been choosing number 4 on occasion to do a linear regression or write the equation of the line. I don't want to do that today. I want to find the median. So I'm going to choose number 1, one variable stats. So I'm going to hit enter. Is all my data in list 1? Yes, it is. I'm going to arrow down to calculate and hit enter. Now, there's a lot on this screen you're not going to use, but just food for thought. The very first entry here, you see the X with the little bar? It almost looks like when you have a repeating decimal. X with that little bar on top is your mean, or your average. So if they had asked me for the average of this data, I could have said 35.38 repeating, or if I rounded it to tenths, maybe I say 35.4. These guys up here, don't worry about the next 4 entries. That's something, if you take higher level math classes, you'll take a look at. Now, this N's interesting. N equals 18. That means there were 18 data points that I entered from my stem and leaf plot. It's the number of numbers I have. Now, if I arrow down a little bit more, I get some interesting points here. I get the minimum is 10, and indeed, 10 was my lowest data point. I get quartile 1, which is 26. Now, even though I don't need that for this problem, if I was doing a box and whisker plot, I might need that. Look at this, MED, median, 35.5, exactly what we got by hand. It's a nice checking mechanism to do this on the TI-84 on your Keystone exam. And then they give me upper quartile Q3, which again, if I was doing a box and whisker, might be nice. And they also give me the maximum value, which in my stem and leaf was 58. So just food for thought, that's another way you can do median and mean and get some good points there for either a box and whisker plot or, in this case, the median. Okay. See you not see you next video. We've got one more question. That was only number 20. All right, here's number 21. Boy, they bounce us around a lot. Okay, now we're back to a function is represented by the equation y equals 1/2 x plus 0.5. And they want to know which of these tables represents that function. Well, I'm going to actually give you the answer first, and then I'm going to show you why. The answer is A. Okay, so how do I know that? Well, how I know that is, if I plug these x's in for x, I get out these y's. And this is the only table that it works, and I'll show you how. So if I would put in, taking this equation, let's do y equals 1/2 times x, which is -1, plus 0.5. Now, if I do that either on my calculator or in my head, 1/2 times -1 is -1/2. -1/2 plus +1/2 is 0. So the first point checks out. Now I'm going to input x equals 3. Y equals 1/2 times 3 plus 0.5. Again, on your TI or in your head, 1/2 of 3 is 1.5. 1.5 plus 0.5 is 2. So that checks out. And finally, when x is 5, 1/2 of 5 plus 0.5, well, 1/2 of 5 is 2.5 plus 0.5 is 3. If you try this technique with any other table, it won't work. It may work for 1 or 2 of them, but this is the only table that if you try all 3 x values, you get exactly the y values that are shown. So that's how I would tackle that one. The only other way to do it, which isn't a bad idea, is to use that backward skill on the TI. Like you could take your TI. Let's say, okay, the answer is A. You could go to your TI, and you could press Stat, Edit. You could clear enter your old data, and you could put the x values from the table from letter A. The x values were -1, 3, and 5. The y values were 0, 2, and 3. And you could do Stat again, calculate number 4, lin/reg. And lo and behold, you're going to get y equals 0.5x plus 0.5. And if you look at the choice here, 1/2 is the same as 0.5 plus 0.5. So only table A in the TI-84 stat mode is going to give you that equation as well. So that's another way to do it. And you just want to do what's comfortable or what comes first in your mind. So lots of options here on some of these problems. All right, see you next video.